Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings Girls game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 11-3 Viking girls are getting ready to do battle in the Dun-St. Croix Conference as they take on the 10-3 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, who are currently sitting at 5-2 in the Dun-St. Croix Conference, only 2 games out of first place and merely 1 game behind the Vikings. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Panthers and the Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh. No, you can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's girls basketball game as the Colfax Vikings prepare to do battle with the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. The 11-3 Vikings, who are 6-1 in the Dun-St. Croix Conference, are looking to stay amongst the leaders in the conference race and get back to the winning ways following last week Monday's 64-53 defeat at the hands of the Prairie Farm Panthers. Now, in that loss to Prairie Farm, the Vikings had no answer for the power of Panthers' Marnie Call and Sydney Junkins, especially Call, who showed why she's averaging over 21 points per game. Now, leading the way for the Vikings was the performance of 5'10 junior Jeanette Hajdukovic, who hit on 6 out of 7 field goal attempts and went 2 for 3 from the free throw line for 14 points. 5'7 junior McKenna Shipman followed, nailing 5 field goals and 2 for 6 from the charity stripe for 12 points. And Molly Hydorn sunk 3 field goals, 2 of which were 3-pointers, and went 2 for 2 from the free throw line for 10 points. Meanwhile, Ainsley Olsen and Autumn Nigaman contributed 8 and 7 points, respectively. On the boards, Shipman led the way for the Vikings by pulling down 7 rebounds, while Olsen grabbed another 6. Now, so far on the season, leading the way for the Vikings in scoring is Shipman, who's shooting at 42% from the floor and also hitting on 32% of her 3-point attempts, while shooting 68% from the free throw line as she's scoring 17 points per game. She's followed by Hajdukovic, who's averaging almost 6.5 points per game, and Olsen, who adds nearly 6. Leading the way on the boards this season is Shipman, who is averaging 7.5 rebounds per game, while Hajdukovic and Olsen are each pulling down over 5 rebounds per game. The Durand-Arkansaw Panthers are currently 10-3 on this season and 5-2 in the Dun-St. Croix Conference. The Panthers last saw action on Friday when they defeated the Boyceville Bulldogs 59-29. Look for sophomore Emma Hoyt to lead the Panthers in scoring, as she's averaging just over 13 points per game. She's also shooting 40% from 3-point land. Hoyt's followed by senior Brittany Dippenbrock, who's putting up over 9 points per game. On the board, Hoyt leads the way for the Panthers, pulling down 7 rebounds per game. Also making her presence known under the basket is Victoria Kurth, who grabs over 5 boards per game. Thus far on the season, the Panthers are scoring an average of 51 points per game while giving up 34. On the other hand, the Vikings are averaging 52 points per game while giving up 39. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, last Monday, the Vikings dropped a decision to the Prairie Farm Panthers 64-53. Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I think we just, let their stars have, too much time in the lane with the ball kind of thing. We didn't do a great job on our help defense. We didn't do, a great job kind of digging it out and, forcing them to get rid of the ball and, kick to open shooters or whatnot. And it also didn't help that we didn't shoot very well. So, I thought we made some adjustments second half and did a much better job containing their two stars. But the, deficit that we dug first half was just too much and we just couldn't get back into it. So, but I did like how they responded at halftime and played with a lot more energy and effort and heart second half.
Now, the old adage is that a setback like that provides a learning opportunity. What should we be hoping the Vikings learn from that outing?
I think the biggest thing that I've been stressing with the girls is you have to come ready to play every single night, regardless of, your opponent. You can't, come out soft. We're always going to get, everyone's best game. And it seems like no matter, what night, whoever we're playing, they always come ready to play. So, I stress to the girls that, right now you are guaranteed, more games, but there's going to come a time when, if we don't come ready to play, then, that could be season ending. So
now today, the Vikings have an opportunity to get right back on the winning track in a game that could have a pretty big impact on the Dunn-St. Croix Conference race as they take on the 11-3 Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. What can you tell us about the Panthers and the challenges they present?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're scrappy. They really get after you. They really pressure the ball. They full court press you all game. So we're going to have to make sure that we do a good job taking care of the ball, I think, and being strong with it. We have to, penetrate their pressure and, take advantage of some of the things that their press offers. But again, like I said, we have to make sure that we come ready to play. The girls understand that, this is a huge game for them. If they're going to continue to stay, in the conference race, they need to win tonight. So, the sense of urgency will be there for them. And it's kind of the same for us. If we're, going to put ourselves in a position to, have a chance at the Dunn-St. Croix title, then we also need to come ready to play.
Now, back on December 9th, the Vikings did defeat the Panthers 47-39. What's different with these two teams from the last time they met?
I think just experience. I think both of these groups, I lost a lot of seniors last year. Darren lost a lot of seniors last year. And early on in the season, I think, we were each still trying to figure out, who we are and whose role is what. And now that we're, well through halfway of the season, I think those roles have been more solidified and people what you need to do. So I think it should be a really good game, and I'm hoping that we come out on top.
Now, the Panthers are 5-2 in conference play, while the Vikings are 6-1. There appears to be a three-way battle for that top spot with Elk Mound, who's 7-0. Your comments about how the Dunn-St. Croix Conference race is developing thus far into the season?
I mean, obviously, without a loss, Elk Mound clearly has the advantage over both us and Durand. So if we're going to, continue to stay in that hunt of being one game back and, give us a chance when we play Elk Mound again to even it out, then, we have to win tonight. Otherwise, then we fall to 2 games back and then we would need help from somebody else.
Yeah, and you don't want to have to rely on that. Well, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can make things stay tight in that Dunn-St. Croix Conference race.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The 11-3 Vikings are looking to continue to challenge for the lead in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. Meanwhile, the Durand Panthers are looking to catch the Vikings and keep pace right behind the Elk Mound Mounders in the conference race. Now, these two teams met back on December 9th, with the Vikings coming out on top in that game 47-39, and the Panthers would love to even the score tonight. So the stage is set for some exciting girls high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. So in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where our broadcast crew will bring you all the action of tonight's girls game between the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame, with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
And the long pass down and in by Hajdukovic.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Long pass down the floor to Olsen. She stops, puts it up, she hit it!
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
This gets it over to the left side to Shipman, three-pointer. She hit it! McKenna Shipman with the three puts the Vikings on top 3-2. And good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera, and we're all excited to bring you a very important matchup in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference as the Colfax Vikings are taking on the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Both teams are hot on the heels of the Elk Mound Mounders. Mounders are currently unbeaten in conference play. Vikings have one loss, and the Panthers have two. So this game could go a long ways towards deciding how things are going to turn out in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I think I'll start with the Durand Panthers. I think they got to play some solid defense tonight. You know, Colfax does a good job at rotating the ball, finding the open girl out there and getting open shots. So they're going to have to stay on that. And then they're going to have to try to get out in transition maybe in the second half and kind of get Colfax back on their heels. And then for Colfax, I want to see them protect that three-point line and keep Emma Hoyt's and who else we got up there? Brittany Dippenbrock and Chloe Oth kind of off their game out on the threes. They like to shoot a lot of threes. And hit your free throws. Both teams got to hit their free throws down the stretch here in the second half.
Well, we're going to be able to tell who's been working on those, aren't we?
Yeah.
And also who's been working their defense, because the Panthers they're known for a real strong defense, and the Vikings have that in-your-face defense that they like to play. And so I think whoever can get their defense to be effective, that's going to go a long way in deciding this one as well.
Yeah, both teams like to shoot a lot of threes, and usually the first half kind of determines that. You know, if a team isn't hitting threes in the first half, they got to try to move the ball inside, and both teams got good interior players, so it'll get interesting second half.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can tell we've got a pep band here today, and we're going to take a brief time out, and when we come back, Dan's going to have the starting lineups for us, and then so will the scorers table along with the national anthem, and we'll have all that right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 26th, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 on Thursday, January 26th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And Dan, why don't you tell us who's going to play in this game?
Yeah, here's the starters for the Durand Panthers. They're going to go with sophomore number 2, Chloe Oth. Sophomore number 11, Addison Oth. Sophomore number 14, Emma Hoyt. Sophomore number 21, Sawyer Sabelko. And senior number 23, Brittany Dippenbrock. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with senior number 10, Molly Heidorn. Senior number 14, Ainsley Olsen. Junior number 32, Jada Anderson. Junior number 40, Jeanette Hajdukovic. And junior number 42, McKenna Shipman.
It's a real interesting blend out there on the floor for the Durand Panthers. 4 sophomores and a senior. And for the Vikings, 2 seniors and 3 juniors out there. So, I don't know if that means anything. Durand is definitely the younger of the 2 teams out there, but they've been pretty effective this year, 5-2 in the conference.
Yeah, you know, really all sports is, can you get the whole team and the coach, everybody on the same page and everybody buy into into the plan that they're trying to do, and I think Durand's getting it figured out already as sophomores.
Taking a look at the Vikings, we were talking about defense. Part of that defense is going to be who can garner the rebounds underneath the basket, and the teams look reasonably well matched. Leading the way for Durand, you've got Emma Hoyt, Victoria Kurth, and Addison Auth, and even Chloe Auth leading the way for them with rebounding. The Vikings, McKenna Shipman, Jeanette Hajdukovic, Ainsley Olsen are kind of leading the way. Those top three for both teams are pretty well balanced, and so it's who can make it effective tonight.
Yeah, you got to stay on your game. You know, there's a lot of different movements. Both teams will probably play a lot of man-to-man, so you got to be in shape, keep going and following around, and don't get lost in the system.
And at the same time, run your system. Don't get forced out of it by something the other team's doing. Find a way to adjust and make your system work.
Yeah, and that's where both defenses, you know, if they can kind of pick them up at the half-court line or do full-court press, that'll kind of get them out of their balance. That can go either way, though, either team.
And the pet band is fighting, doing the Colfax fight song. And as I took a look over there, it's not a real large pet band tonight for the Vikings. I think I counted 10 out there. But you know what? They still make a big sound, and that's the important part. Both teams are over at their respective benches, and we're going to be ready for the sportsmanship announcement and the national anthem, followed by the scoring tables version of the player introductions, and that's all coming up right about now.
Would everyone please remain standing if able? Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag, as the national anthem is sung by Colfax High School student Adrian Beebe.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Colfax High School, tonight's Young St. Croix girls basketball matchup between the Durand Panthers And now the starting lineup for your Colfax.
Again, in case you couldn't hear them clearly, for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers, it's Chloe Oth, Addison Oth, Hoyt, Sabelko, and Dippenbrock. And for the Vikings, it's the usual five: Hydorn, Olsen, Anderson, Hajdukovic, and Shipman. And McKenna Shipman just read the sportsmanship announcement. In the center circle for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers is Emma Hoyt. Little switch there. Addison Oth in there. And Ainsley Olsen. Ball goes up, and the tip controlled by the Panthers. Hoyt had it. Gets it over to Chloe Oth, who then gets it to Dippenbrock. Feeds it over to the right side, then back out high to Sabelko. Sabelko taking it over to the right. Tries to feed it over to the right wing to Hoyt, but knocked out of bounds by Olsen. Sabelko to inbound. She gets it into Chloe Oth. Then over to Addison Oth, puts up the three. No good. Rebound taken down by Anderson, but tied up. And it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. Anderson to inbound. And tried to get it to Shipman, and just missed connection. It goes out of bounds. Didn't get touched by anybody, so Durand is going to get it at the same spot. And it comes out high to Addison Oth, then down into the right corner, then take it back out high, swing it over to the left side. This is Chloe Oth with it in the left corner. She drives over towards the lane, gets it out high to Dippenbrock. They put it up, and it's no good, and we're going to get a blocking foul being called on Hydorn. That's going to send Dippenbrock to the line. That foul on Hydorn is the first foul on anyone tonight. Dippenbrock's free throw is good for the first point of the game. Second shot up, it's also good. 2-0, Durand has the lead. Hydorn with it in the backcourt. She's being guarded closely by Sabelko. Cross-court pass over to Shipman. Gets it across the timeline on the right side. She's on the right wing. Stops, comes back out high, hands it off to Hydorn between the circles. Hydorn over to the left side to Shipman, to Hajdukovic. Now into the lane to Olsen. Turns, puts it up, does not go. Hajdukovic gets the rebound, puts it up, it doesn't go. And the second putback, it doesn't go. Third time draws the harm. Jeanette Hajdukovic to go to the line. Foul is on Brittany Dippenbrock. And the shot by Hajdukovic is off the back of the iron. It's first foul on Dippenbrock, first on Durand. Second shot by Hajdukovic is up. No good. Rebound. Hauled down by the Panthers and Emma Hoyt, and she hands it off. And down across the timeline almost is Chloe Oth. Now they swing it over to the left side. This is Dippenbrock with it. Gets it out high to Sabelko. Her shot is no good. Chloe Oth with the putback, no good. Olsen with the rebound. Hydorn with it. Through the C in the center of the floor. Takes it into the lane. Puts it up. draws the harm. And that foul is on Sawyer Sibelko. It's her first, second team foul on Durand. First shot is up and it's good. Dan, I noticed on that one that Hydorn was kind of off balance, didn't have much of a chance of that shot going in, but knew enough to lean in and drew the foul.
Yeah, it looks like Colfax is going to try to work the interior right away.
Second shot, by the way, was good, so we're tied at 2. Off with it, that's Chloe off with it on the right side. Gets it out to Sibelko. Sibelko right at the arc on the right side, gets it up between the circles and over to the left side, now to Dippenbrock. She hands it off to Addison-Oth. Out to Dippenbrock, to Chloe Oth. Loses the handle, but she gets it back to Addison-Oth. Lost it off her foot, picked up by Shipman, gets it to Hydorn, and the Vikings come back down the floor. On the left side, giving it to Shipman, coming through the lane, and we have a blocking foul. Shipman's shot is not good, but she's going to go to the line. A little bit of a give and go there. Foul's on Dippenbrock. It's her second. First shot is up and good. Third foul against the Panthers. So Dippenbrock has a seat. Lydia Weiss comes in. Second shot is up off the back of the air, no good. Dan, that name throws me every time. Am I right with Weiss or is it Weiss?
It is Weiss.
Okay, I got it right. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Chloe Oth with it on the right side. She gets it over to Addison-Oth. Back out to Chloe. They get it down into the left corner to Sibelko. Back over to Weiss. Over to Chloe Oth on the left. To Addison-Oth. She dishes it off and chased down by Sibelko back by the timeline on the right side. She feeds it towards the lane. They get it down underneath. Ball gets loose. They get it out to Weiss. Then over to Sibelko. Three-pointer is up and in. Durand takes a 5-3 lead over the Vikings. Hydorn with it. Hydorn gets it over to Shipman. Then into the lane to Anderson. Little jump shot's no good. And Durand comes back down the floor. Sibelko with it. She gets it over to Addison-Oth. Over to the right side. Now they swing it back to the left side to Chloe Oth. Chloe out to Sibelko at the top of the key. Back to Chloe. And down in the corner to Hoyt. Hoyt drives the left baseline, puts it up. She gets the shot to drop. And I think they're going to get a foul on Olsen. It is. Gives Durand a 7-3 lead. First foul on Olsen, only the second foul on the Vikings. Goodell and Nigaman into the lineup for the Vikings. I think it's Victoria Kurth who checked in for the Panthers. It is. She has this big long ponytail hanging down over half the number. I couldn't read it. And down the floor comes Goodell across the timeline for the Vikings. To Hydorn from the free throw line. No good. Rebound being fought for. Chased down by Nigaman. Nigaman gets it out to Hydorn, to Shipman. 8-3. Panthers on top, and the ball is out of bounds. It'll be Durand's ball. Emma Hoyt to inbound. She gets it into Chloe Oth. Back to Hoyt. Hoyt forward to Sibelko. Sibelko on the left side. Hands it over to Chloe. Then to Kurth. Still on the left side. Back out to Chloe. Then to Weiss. Back over to the left side now to Hoyt. To Kurth. On the right side now. Back over to Weiss. She's high, wide, and left. Chloe on the left wing. Back out high to Kurth at the top of the key. She drives towards the lane. Ball gets taken away by Hydorn. Hydorn on a solo flight. Misses the layup. I think she heard footsteps that time, Dan.
Yeah, Durand was really close there.
So the Panthers have the ball. They swing it over to the left side to Chloe Oth. Then to Hoyt. And back out high to Chloe. Over to the right side now. Kurth has it. Gets it back out to Sabelko. Sabelko on the dribble. She's still on the right side. High, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Kurth on the left. They give it over to Weiss, who cross-court passes to Hoyt. Back over to Weiss. Her three-pointer's up off the iron, no good. Rebound chased down by Olsen, and the Vikings bring it down the floor. Shipman on the dribble. Shipman feeds it over to Hydorn. Over to Nigaman. Nigaman tries to feed it out to Shipman, who chases it down, puts up the three. No, it doesn't go. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Durand's ball. 8-3, the Panthers leading the Vikings. Vikings have 3 free throws. Hoyt to inbound. Gets it into Sabelko. Sabelko across the timeline on the left side. Gets it out to the top of the key to Hoyt. Back to Sabelko. Sabelko directing traffic. Now feeds it over to the right side to Hoyt. On the right wing now is Kurth. Back out high to Weiss. Then over to the left side to Chloe Oth. She drives into the lane. Kicks it back out to the right side. This is Sabelko. She goes down kind of hard. And we're going to get a foul called on Goodell. She kind of got tied up in Sabelko's legs. She gets it into Hoyt on the right wing. Now out between the circles to Chloe Oth. Chloe directing traffic and feeds it over to the left side. That's Sabelko. She takes it back out between the circles, feeds it over to Hoyt. To Chloe Oth. Oth drives towards the lane, kicks it back out to Weiss, and then to Kurth, and we're going to say Kurth threw the foul. She gave a little bit of a forearm shiver as she was trying to turn the corner. That'll be the first foul on her, 4th foul on Durand. Shipman gets the ball into Bovey, who came in for the Vikings. To Goodell. Goodell across the timeline. Back out to Bovey between the circles. Bovey takes it over to the right side. Hands it off to Goodell. Goodell stops in the lane. Bounce pass over to Shipman. Tries to go up. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Goodell gets it into Hajdukovic to Shipman from the free throw line, and it's good. 8-5, Durand by 3. Chloe Oth gets it over to Addison Oth, then into the forecourt, and they get it to Hoyt. Tries the left side, can't hang on to the ball, and it's out of bounds, Viking ball.
Yeah, good defense there by number 22, Adam Nigaman there. Great turnover.
So the Vikings trying to bring it through some pressure offered by Durand. And we're going to get a traveling call on Bovey. She picked up her dribble just before she crossed the timeline and dragged that pivot foot. So the inbound pass comes to Chloe Oth. She feeds it over to Addison Oth. Back to Chloe down in the right corner. She dribbles it back out to the right wing. Ball gets knocked loose. Picked up by Hoyt. Back out to Chloe on the right side, between the circles, and then over to the left side, three-pointer on the way. That was by Kurth. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Goodell with it. Feeds it down low to Hajdukovic. Back out to Shipman. Shipman looking to shoot, but can't find one. Gets it over to Bovey. Bovey between the circles. Feeds it down to Goodell. Tries the right baseline. Pulls up. No good on the shot. Rebound taken away by Shipman and puts the shot up and in. Vikings cut the lead to 1. Durand 8, Vikings 7. Panthers have it on the right side. Hoyt with the ball. Hoyt takes it out to the top of the key and then hands it off to Addison Off. And to Dippenbrock. To Hoyt, to Dippenbrock. Thought about the three, couldn't take it. Gets it over to Chloe. And down in the corner on the right side, that's Dippenbrock with it. And to Hoyt, still on the right corner. Cross-court pass. They swing it around on the left side. We have Dippenbrock down in the left corner. Back out high to Hoyt at the top of the key. Gets it over to Chloe Oss. She drives into the lane, puts it up, shots blocked. And here goes Goodell down the floor. Gonna try to lay it up and gets it in. Vikings back on top, 9-8. 8:25 to go in the first half. Durand with the ball. They bring it down the floor. This is Dippenbrock, puts up the three, and she hit it. Wide open three-point shot from the left corner for Brittany Dippenbrock. Puts Durand back on top by 2. Goodell with it, gets it to Bovey. She gets it into the forecourt, tries to get it over to Hajdukovic. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by Durand. It'll be Vikings ball. Anderson, Hydorn, and Olsen all back into the lineup for the Vikings. It's the starting 5 out there right now. Hydorn with it between the circles. Over towards the left side to Olsen. High, wide, and left. Olsen on the dribble. Drives it down towards the lane. Lays it up. Puts it in. And we're tied at 11. 7:44. Down the floor come the Durand Panthers. Sabelko with it. Gets it down into the left corner to Kurth. Kurth on the dribble. Takes it towards the lane. Feeds it over to Dippenbrock on the right side. Cross-court pass over to Chloe Oth on the left. She tries to take it into the lane to Addison Oth. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound by Hydorn. Hydorn down the floor for the Vikings. Hands it off to Olsen on the right side. Takes it into the lane. Lays it up. It goes in and she draws the harm. Ainsley Olsen with the off-balance shot in the lane and drew the harm. So she's going to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-pointer.
God, Brittany's going to have to sit down. That's her third here in the first half.
It's also the 5th foul on Durand. Olsen's free throw, it's good. So it was the hard three-pointer.
Ainsley has 5 points.
Inbound pass, down the floor comes Chloe off. She feeds it over to Sabelko on the left side. And to Weiss. Back out high to Sabelko between the circles. Over to the right side to Weiss. Weiss to Addison off. And to Kurth. Back out high to Addison. Feeds it across to the right side to Chloe. Now they've got it to Weiss on the left side. Down low to Addison. Back over. Three-pointer on the way, no good by Kurth. And the rebound taken down by Hydorn. And she's quickly down the floor. She pulls up. Gets it to Anderson. Three-pointer on the way. She hit the three! Jada Anderson with the three-pointer. And the Vikings have a 17-11 lead. And we have a timeout on the floor With 6:17 to go, you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
We're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gus doing an outstanding job on the camera, as usual. And the Durand Panthers to inbound the ball. Chloe off with it in the backcourt. Feeds it into the forecourt. And they get it over to Kurth on the right side. They try to feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked away. Vikings have it. Anderson grabbed it, hands it off to Heidorn. Heidorn down the right side. She puts on the brakes. Gives it to Anderson coming into the lane. Puts up the shot. No good. There was some contact there. I think Anderson thought she drew the foul, but no such luck this time. Down the floor is Sabelko for Durand. They try to feed it coming into the lane to Addison Oth, and she drew the foul. I think they got Hajdukovic. That's what they said. First foul on Hajdukovic. Fourth team foul on the Vikings. Addison Oth at the line. First free throw is no good. Hoyt into the lineup for Chloe Oth. Second shot is on the way. It's no good. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gives it to Shipman. Over to Heidorn for the Vikings. Vikings by 6 with 5:33 to go in the first half. Feeding it to Shipman down on the left baseline. She puts it up and in. 19-11, Vikings on top. Down the floor come the Panthers. Hoyt with it. She feeds it over to Weiss. Down into the left corner. Now back out high to Sabelko. Over to Hoyt on the right side. That's Kurth with it. Gets it back out high, and the ball gets knocked away. Heidorn has it, coming down the right side of the lane. Feeds it out to Olsen, launches a three, no good. Rebound, saved in by Anderson. They tip it out to Heidorn, no good. Another three by Heidorn, no good. And Durand comes away with it. Weiss had the rebound and handed it off to Sabelko. Sabelko between the circles, over to Weiss on the right side. Back out high to Addison. To Kurth on the left. Back out to Hoyt between the circles, over to Addison on the right side. Sabelko has it now at the top of the key. Then to Hoyt. Over to the right side. Now back to the top of the key and over to the left side with Kurth. Down into the left corner to Hoyt. Hoyt back out high to Sabelko. Sabelko feeds it over to the left side. Free throw line extended. That's Addison. They get it out high now over to the right side to Hoyt. Then to Sabelko on the left. Drives into the lane and then backs back out again. Feeds it over onto the right side. They try to feed it in the lane, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. As Sabelko went down hard. Foul on Hajdukovic. She kind of took Sabelko's head off that time. That's the best way to describe it. She just kind of reached up high to grab it. And
tough down there in the paint.
So Durand has the ball. They feed it over to Sabelko, high, wide, and right. Stops. Gets it out to Kurth, over to the left side now to Weiss. Now down at the baseline to Hoyt. To Addison on the left. Cross-court pass over to Kurth. Now back out high and over to the left side now. This is Sabelko. Sabelko at the free throw line. Feeds it down underneath off of Nigaman. She grabs it. Feeds it over to Heidorn and brings it down the floor. Heidorn takes it over to the left side. Gets it back over to Shipman. Drives into the lane. Pulls up a jumper and it went in. 21-10. Vikings have opened up a 10-point lead. 2:45 remaining in the first half. Panthers feed it over to the left side to Weiss, then to Addison, now into the lane to Kurth, now back out high to Sabelko. Three-pointer is good. Sawyer Sabelko with the three. 21-14, Vikings by 7. Olsen with it on the left baseline, lays it up. No foul called that time as Olsen went hard. And Durand has the ball. Sabelko has it between the circles, gets it over to the right side to Addison. Back out to Weiss. On the left side now, Sabelko. Then they get it to Addison down by the lane, back out high to Hoyt. They swing it over now to the right side to Kurth. Kurth drives towards the lane, turns, kicks it back out high. Weiss, and then Hoyt drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. We're going to get a whistle and a foul, and the foul is going to be on Addison off. Climbing over the back of Nigaman, trying to get the rebound.
Yeah, good job by Autumn Nigaman to box out there. Durand's having a tough time getting that three-point shot off, so they're trying to go inside, and there's just nothing there.
Down the floor, Ainsley Olsen goes up from the baseline, no good. We have a blocking foul called as Olsen goes to the line. Olsen shooting two. The foul was on Victoria Kurth. It's her first, 7th foul. First shot by Olsen's up, no good. Vikings will be in the bonus for the last minute 36 of the first half. Second shot on the way, off the back of the air, no good. Rebound hauled down by Addison off, and the Panthers bring it down the floor with Sabelko on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side. Kurth takes it into the lane, puts a shot up, no good. Put back shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Shipman crossed the timeline between the circles. Dribbled it off her own foot, picked it up, hands it off to Goodell, takes it into the lane and got her pocket picked. Sabelko with it, high, wide, and left. Takes it between the circles, over to the right side to Chloe off, then down to Addison off. On the right side, ball got kicked away by Nigaman and it's out of bounds. Durand will maintain possession. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Sabelko to inbound. Feeds it out to Hoyt. Hoyt got the ball knocked loose and the Vikings pick it up. Nigaman trying to take it down the floor, and we're going to get a foul being called on Sabelko, I believe. Yes, it is. Autumn Nigaman to go to the line for the 1-and-1. Vikings up by 7. 21-14. First shot is up. It's good. Make that 22-14. First point for Nigaman tonight. Second shot on the way. No, that one won't go. Rebound taken down by the Panthers, and down the floor they come. Chloe Oth with it, feeds it over to the right side, down into the right corner to Hoyt. Hoyt back out high to Addison, to Chloe, then into the lane to Hoyt. Being covered by two Vikings, Olsen and Goodell, and we're going to get a foul called on Goodell. One official had it as a jump ball, and the other one said no, it was a foul on Goodell. That's her second, 6th foul on the Vikings. 31 seconds remaining in the half. Ball comes in, jump shot by Kurth is no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Closing in on 20 seconds remaining in the half. Heidorn with it. She's out high, hands it off to Olsen, back to Heidorn. 12 seconds remaining in the half. Vikings looking for one shot. Heidorn with it, out to Nigaman, puts it up from the elbow. She hit it! Nigaman with a jumper from the elbow, long shot, no good, and we have reached halftime. Vikings up by 10, 24 to 14. And in just a moment, we'll have Viking halftime with our Viking profile, who will be JC Bovey tonight. So you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost in. If I need a break, know where I'm going. Where the water's flowing, I'd rather be floating. If it's one thing that can count on to be free. If it's one place.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with JC Bovey, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. And JC, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Yep, I'm in cross country and track.
A lot of those cross country runners, and you guys had a taste of some success this year.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
And how did that get capped off?
It was really good. It was a really fun season.
And where did you end up going?
The state meet, which is in Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, I mean, don't be bashful about that. You guys made it all the way to state. That's something to blow your whistle about. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience has it been for you?
I started in 3rd grade, but I started playing with my older sister, so I always just loved it and was kind of just used to doing it on Saturdays.
Now, what's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
Probably to keep your head up through injuries and whatever else you go through.
And when you're not playing basketball, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to hang out with friends and go shopping.
Okay, it sounds like that could be a lot of fun. Now, let's throw a few rapid fire questions at you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, good old-fashioned standard. Your favorite color and why?
Blue. I like the ocean a lot. So.
Okay, then blue works, doesn't it? Yeah. And lots of different shades of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think that would be?
Probably to dunk in basketball.
Oh, the ability to get up and dunk in basketball, whatever you wanted to from anywhere on the floor, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now, with that kind of a superpower, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with it.
Uh-huh.
So, what's JC's superhero name?
Probably Jumping JC.
There you go, Jumping JC. I could just see it. You start at your own free throw line and you launch yourself way down to the far end of the floor and put it through the hole.
Right.
Yeah, okay. We're looking for that this year.
Okay.
All right, favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Bucks, for sure.
Okay. How about your favorite collegiate team?
I don't have a preference, really.
Okay. All right. Is there a basketball player as you were growing up that really inspired you or affected the way you play your game?
Probably my sister, Jana. She just kind of put a lot of effort into it. I always tried.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a shout out to you, Jana. We're talking with JC Bovey. And JC, what are your plans for after high school?
To go to college.
Do you know where or what your preference would be?
Just to stay around here, kind of, like Stout or Eau Claire.
Okay, do you have any idea what you'd be pursuing?
Maybe a realtor.
Okay, all right. So how about a shout out to the family? Now, you already gave part of a shout out.
Yeah, I did. Thanks for supporting me always and coming to my games.
And when people do come to Viking games to watch, what number are you going to wear and what position are you going to play?
I'm going to be 12 and probably a point guard or 1 or a 2 or maybe a 3.
Okay, we want to thank Jana Bovey for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson, along with Dan Petchow somewhere. He went down to the scores table to double check on something. He's not back yet, but I can at least give you the Viking scores. And as I'm looking up at the scoreboard, we have Shipman with 9, and Olson has 5, Anderson with 3, Hydorn with 2, Nigaman has 3. I think that's all 24 of the points of the Vikings. I wasn't adding them as I went. And not very many up on the scoreboard of the 14, only 9 are up there, and I don't have Dan back here to check on. He was missing a point somewhere, and he went down to the scores table to check on it. By the way, earlier today in the junior varsity game, the Viking JV came out on top, 41-28, and we're just about a minute away from starting the second half here. Durand will have the ball to start the second half. And waiting for the teams to come away from the bench. And it was on the Durand side that Dan was missing some points, so I can't give you that information. But it was correct. It was 9 for Shipman, 3 for Anderson, 3 for Nigaman, 5 for Olson, 2 for Goodell, and 2 for Hydorn. So we're getting ready to start the second half. Inbounding the ball is Sawyer Sibelko for the Durand Panthers. And she gets it into Chloe Oth. Across the timeline, feeds it over to the far side, then back out between the circles to Chloe. Hands it off to Hoyt into the lane, then back out high for a three-pointer is good. That's Addison Oth with the 3, 24-17, Vikings on top. Anderson with it on the right side. Feeds it into Hajdukovic, back out to Shipman, down in the right corner. Feeds it to Anderson, driving the lane. She put it up and in. Down the floor comes Durand. It's Addison with it, gets it over to Sibelko. Now they get it over into the right corner to Addison, now down into the corner to Chloe. Addison with it in the right corner, tries the baseline, gets it back out high to Dippenbrock, three-pointer rolls around and in. Boy, that one thought about it for a while before it came down and went in. Dan finally back from his mission.
Yes, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
And into the lane goes Olson, and they're going to call Olson with a travel. 26-20. Vikings on top. Into the lineup is Victoria Kurth, and she goes in for Addison Oth. And Durand gets it into Sibelko in the backcourt. Passes it over to Chloe Oth. They get it down into the forecourt on the left side. And a traveling call. This time it's on Victoria Kurth. And the ball goes back to the Vikings. Anderson. Feeds it to Hydorn, back to Anderson. Anderson quickly across the timeline, loses the handle, and here comes Durand right back the other way. Feeding it over to the left side to Sibelko. Top of the key. Gets it over to the right side to Kurth. Now back over to Chloe on the left, high, wide, and left. To Hoyt between the circles. Over to the right side to Kurth. At the top of the key to Dippenbrock to Sibelko on the right. She drives down to the baseline, puts it up. Shot goes through, and she drew the foul. That's 8 points for Dippenbrock. And the foul is on Hydorn. It's her first team foul on the Vikings this half. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Down the floor come the Vikings. Hydorn with it, takes it over to the right side. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic. She stops, puts the shot up. No. Went over the top. And it went out of bounds. And they're going to say that it was off of Shipman. But she stepped out of bounds before knocking it off the legs of the Panthers. Hoyt to inbound. She gets it into Chloe. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Hydorn. That's her second, a pretty quick second foul on Hydorn.
It's her third.
Oh, thank you for correcting me there, Dan.
Yeah, she's going to have to take a seat.
(26-22). Durand has cut the Viking lead to 4. Durand has it on the left side, free throw line extended. Out to Dippenbrock from the top of the key. Shot is no good. Rebound. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be on Kurth. That's Kurth's second foul. First team foul on Durand. Vikings have the ball. Goodell with it across the timeline. Leads it over to Bovey. She takes it right into the lane, lays it up too hard off the glass. Nigerman puts it back up, no good. Rebound, fought for, we get a foul. I think it's going to be on Nigerman, it is. She climbed over the back trying to get that rebound. First foul on Nigerman, third foul on the Vikings this half. Ball comes in to Chloe off. Ball gets knocked loose, and here comes Shipman on a solo flight. And she got fouled from behind. She was sliding like an otter down there. And she's going to go to the line for 2. No, they're going to say it was on the floor.
Yeah, and that's Brittany Dippenbrock's 4th.
You know, these guys must not have seen McKenna Shipman, because that was kind of her shooting motion. Olsen with it, drives into the lane, feeds it out to Goodell. Back out high to Bovey, loses the handle but picks it back up. Oh, Durand thought that should have been a double dribble. They're probably right. Bovey with it, over to Goodell, on the right side. They give it to Olsen, drives into the lane, puts up the shot, it goes in. 28-22. Vikings on top, 14:03 remaining in the game. Durand with it on the left side, down into the left corner to Kurth. Kurth feeds it over to the right side to Hoyt. Drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Kurth. Kurth at the free throw line. Feeds it over to Weiss. Then back over to Hoyt. Three-pointer no good. Weiss with the rebound. Feeds it out to Sabelko. Sabelko between the circles. Gets it over to Kurth. Then back to Weiss from the top of the key. Shots no good. Rebound hauled down by Olsen. And feeds it over to Bovey. Bovey, that Viking profile guest of ours, gets it to Goodell, tries to feed it to Shipman. She lost the handle, didn't quite pull it in, and lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, she's making the cut there, but Durand had that covered really well.
Hoyt with it. Tries to get it into Sabelko, who slipped. Also picked up the ball and put it in the hole.
Ainsley's got 9 tonight.
And down the floor come the Panthers. Kurth with it on the left side. Feeds it out to the top of the key to Sabelko. Sabelko down the right side of the lane, then she backs out. Free throw line extended right. Down to Chloe off, down in the right corner. Drives the right baseline. Feeds it across to Kurth. Three-pointer on the way, she hit it. Victoria Kurth with the three-pointer. Cuts the Viking lead to 5, 30-25. Goodell into the lane, lays it up, it's not gonna go, and We get a rebound by Kirk, and she drew the foul on Goodell. Goodell kind of got a little out of control there.
Yeah, she had her hand on the ball, but as Durand made the move, her hand got caught in the cookie jar.
That drive, though, might have been one where dishing it off might have been a good idea. Yeah. And then she just had a little too much adrenaline going on the rebound and committed the foul. 30-25, Vikings on top. Addison off, and she gets fouled by Nigaman. That's a second foul on Nigaman. Fifth foul on the Vikings. 12:07 remaining. Durand inbound. They get it to Hoyt. Hand it off to Kurth. Then out to Koyoff from three. Shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by Shipman. Hands it off to Anderson across the timeline. Puts on the brakes. Hands it back out to Shipman, then back to Anderson. Anderson feeds it over to Nigaman. Three-pointer on the way. Missed. That was a clean miss by Nigaman, and down the floor comes Hoyt for Durand. Gets it out to Chloe Oth. Then pass goes over to Lydia Weiss, and she couldn't handle it, and she is upset with herself.
Yeah, she took a look at the baseline before she caught the ball.
And she knew it. She knew that one was on her. Heidorn with it for the Vikings. Across the timeline on the right side. Takes it now between the circles, over to Shipman on the right. Shipman over to Heidorn on the left. Back out to Shipman. Looking for someone to go with it. Gets it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Turnaround shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Weiss. Hands it off to Chloe Oth, who brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the left side. To Hoyt. Addison over to Chloe. Those are the Oth girls. Back out high to Kurth. To Weiss. To Kurth. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound. Chased down by Weiss. To Addison, to Hoyt, to Chloe. Down into the right corner. This is Kurth. Back out high to Chloe, to Addison. Ball got knocked loose. And Durand has it between the circles with Hoyt. To Chloe Oth. Drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Hoyt, she puts it up, it's no good. Rebound tipped around and finally hauled down by Hajdukovic for the Vikings. Heidorn with it, takes it down towards the lane, ball gets knocked loose, picked up by Durand. Right now, Vikings having a hard time hanging on to the ball. And so is Durand, because that one got knocked away by Nigaman and right into the hands of Hajdukovic as Durand tried to pass it into the lane, and the Vikings have it. Heidorn with it between the circles. Trying the left side, nothing there. Takes it back out to the right side, hands it to Nigaman. It went through her hand. We're going to get a whistle and a foul, and the foul's on Hajdukovic.
Let's see if they get 22. No. Okay.
Our foul is on Hajdukovic, and it's her third. 16 foul on the Vikings. Olsen in for Nigaman. Durand will be in the bonus after they inbound the ball here. So down the floor comes Chloe Oth. Back out high to Sabelko. Three-pointer. She hit it. Put the Viking lead to 2, 30-28. Shipman with it. Getting it over to Heidorn. Heidorn with it, back to Shipman. Shipman up across the timeline. Takes it to the free throw line, gets it to Hajdukovic, back over to Heidorn. To Anderson, over to Olsen, puts up the three. She hit the three! Ainsley Olsen with a real timely three-pointer for the Vikings. 33-28, Vikings back up by 5. Wide open three-pointer by Hoyt is no good, and Olsen grabs the rebound, gets it over to Heidorn. Hydorn across the timeline, between the circles, over to the left side to Anderson. Back out to Shipman, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Sabelko for Durand. Down the floor she comes. Feeds it over to the left side to Weiss, then to Chloe, then into Hoyt. Trying the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Olsen. To Shipman. Shipman across the timeline. Looking down low to Anderson. Anderson to Hydorn, high widen right. To Shipman, turn around, put it up, no, but she drew the foul. So Shipman's gonna go to the line for 2. Foul's gonna be on Lydia Weiss. It's her second. First shot on the way, it's good. Kurth and Dippenbrock. Dippenbrock in there with 4. Yeah, 4 fouls. Second shot is up and good. And a timeout on the floor. 7:59 to go. It's Vikings 35, Panthers 28, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera, bringing you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers. Panthers have the ball. They get it inbound to Chloe Oth. Puts on the brakes as soon as she gets over the timeline. Feeds it over to Hoyt in the center circle. Then over to the left side. Now down into the corner to Dippenbrock. Out to Sabelko. To Chloe. Then over to Victoria Kurth on the right side. Free throw line extended. Feeding it into the lane to Hoyt. Ball gets knocked away. Anderson comes away with it for the Vikings. Takes it over to the right side. Gets it out to Shipman. Puts up a 3. She hit the 3! McKenna Shipman with a 3-pointer and 14 points on the night for her. Kurth with it. Cross-court pass over to Dippenbrock. Takes it into the lane. She put it up and in. A nice leaping leaner that time by Dippenbrock.
She has 10 points.
And down the floor comes Hydorn. Feeds it out to Shipman. Thought about the 3, and they're going to get her with a travel. She thought about the 3 and then put the ball to the floor, but she shuffled her feet in the process. And that, I'm afraid, is a traveling call. So Hoyt has it, inbounds it to Sabelko, and her pass down the floor is intercepted by Olsen. Gets it over to Hydorn. Through the center C. Hydorn with it, high, widen right. Feeds it into the lane to Hajdukovic, puts it up. No, it won't go. She tries to get the rebound. It went off her foot and out of bounds. So it'll be the Panthers' ball. Vikings up by 8, 38-30. Dan, this has been a game of runs.
Yeah, defensive runs.
Absolutely. That's kind of what we thought early when we were talking earlier. The team that can make their defense work. Durand has it between the circles over to the left side. This is Kurth with it. Free throw line extended left. Down in the corner to Hoyt. Takes it into the lane. Out to Dippenbrock on the right side, down into the right corner. Feeds it into the lane. It's intercepted down there by Heidorn, and she brings it down the floor. On the left side, gets it out to Olsen. Olsen tries the left baseline, kicks it back out to Heidorn. Feeds it to Anderson, who tries into the lane. Shot's no good, but she drew the foul. I think it's going to be on Hoyt. It is. That's the fourth foul on the Panthers. First foul on Hoyt. First shot by Anderson is good. Nigaman into the lineup, giving Hajdukovic a break. Bovey in, giving Heidorn a break. Second shot on the way. It's good. Goodell into the lineup. Anderson going to take a break. 40-30, Vikings back up by 10. Durand gets it into Dippenbrock. Feeds it over to Sabelko. He lost the handle on it. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be the Vikings. Shipman to inbound for the Vikings. She gets it into Bovey. Bovey across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side. Back out high to Nigaman. Over to Bovey. To Olsen. Between the circles. Feeds it in the lane to Shipman. Shot goes up no good. She went to the floor. Ball did not go through, and Durand comes down the floor with it down into the left corner. That's Kurth. She gets it out high to Addison. Over to Dippenbrock on the right, then kicks it back out to Hoyt, who puts up the three and hit it. And we have a timeout on the floor with 5:17 to go. Vikings 40, Panthers 33. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit dairystatebank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Dan, you were noticing something about the Durand shots?
Yeah, I noticed that second half. First half, Durand really wanted to work it inside and hit some threes. Colfax did a good job of shutting that down. They've gotten their chances. They've hit 5 threes here in the second half. Durand has.
Down the floor comes Goodell for the Vikings. She's got it down towards that left corner to Shipman. Back out to Goodell. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound. Controlled by nobody. We have a whistle and a foul.
Oh, it's on.
That falls on Shipman. And that's going to put Durand at the line for the 1-on-1. Hoyt going to the line. Vikings up by 7. Chloe off into the lineup. Giving Sabelko a break. Hajdukovic and Anderson coming in for the Vikings. Free throw is up no good, but the rebound chased down by Hoyt. Gets it to Dippenbrock from 3. She hit the 3. That's the Viking lead to 4. Shipman with it. Gets it over to Heidorn. To Shipman. Ball gets tipped loose, but picked up by Heidorn. To Hajdukovic. and tapped out of bounds by Durand. It'll be Vikings ball along the baseline. Inbound pass to Hajdukovic. She gets it to Shipman. To Olsen. High, wide, and right. Takes it to the top of the key. Now into the lane. Lays it up. No, it won't go. Hajdukovic with the rebound. Gets it back out to Olsen. She puts up the jump shot. No good. Rebound by Durand. Chloe Oth with it. Down the floor to Dippenbrock. Three-pointer. She hit the three. Dippenbrock cuts the Viking lead to 1 with 4 minutes remaining. Hydorn with it. Dippenbrock with 16 on the night. Olsen with it. Gets it back out high to Hydorn. To Shipman, puts up the three. She hit the three! We're going to swap three-pointers for a little while here. 43-39, Vikings on top. Chloe Oth with it. To Dippenbrock, back out to Oth. Over to Kurth. Now to Addie Oth. And a double dribble called against Addie Oth. Turnover to the Vikings. Full court pressure being put on by Durand. Everybody's in that side of the court. Vikings inbound it to Hydorn. Feeds it over to Shipman. Back to Hydorn across the timeline. Feeds it out to Anderson on the right side to the free throw line. To Hajdukovic. Tries to get it into the lane, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Hajdukovic, I believe.
That's her fourth.
That's the 8th foul on the Vikings. It's going to send Chloe Oth to the line. And the shot is up and good. Vikings student body over on the far side trying to do the Skol chant.
Yeah, the 6th man for the team.
And the second shot's up and good. 43-41, Vikings by 2. Vikings to inbound to Olsen. Back to Anderson, to Hydorn. Hydorn on the dribble, under pressure by Sabelko. Gets it into the forecourt to Anderson, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul on Chloe Oth. That's the first foul on Chloe Oth, 5th foul on the Panthers. Vikings inbound it to Hydorn. She's between the circles. Takes it over to the right side. She's on the right wing. And a timeout called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, it's Vikings 43, Durand 41. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School Girls Basketball. Our next game will be on Friday, January 27, when the Vikings will travel to Boyceville to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 27.
Vikings to inbound the ball. Hydorn with it, between the circles. Feeds it over to Shipman on the right side. Back out to the top of the key. Feeds it down underneath to Hajdukovic. Back out to Shipman. She puts up a three-pointer. It's a little bit short. And coming away with it is Sibelko for the Panthers. Vikings by 2. Durand with the ball. Sibelko takes it down the right side. Feeds it down into the corner, and timeout called by the Durand Panthers. So with that timeout on the floor, we'll take another timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for.
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 26th, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Thursday, January 26th.
So we do have a bunch of basketball still coming this week. On Thursday, as you just saw, we have the boys hosting the Mondovi Buffaloes. And then on Friday, we have a game on each of our 2 channels on NLWN-TV. The Viking girls will be at Boyceville, while the boys will be over in Osceola. Dan, you're going to be over there for that one, and I'll be in Boyceville. So we've got a bunch of basketball.
I sleep better when I know I can go a bunch of basketball games.
All right, Durand to inbound the ball. Hoyt with it, down in the corner. Out to Chloe Oth. She takes it between the circles over to the left side. To Schippenbrock, and the ball gets tipped away from Sibelko, and the Vikings have it. Hydorn with it. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. Out to Hajdukovic. To Olsen, high, wide, and left. Cross court over to Anderson between the circles. Over to Hydorn on the right side. Back out to Olsen. She's pretty much between the circles. To Shipman.
Durand's going to have to think about fouling here pretty soon.
And Hydorn draws the foul on Sibelko. That'll be the 6th foul. Durand had a foul to give.
They're 5 for 9 from the line tonight. Or Durand is.
So the ball comes in, and we're going to get a carry being called on Hydorn. Ball kind of got away from her a little bit, and she reached out, and they got her for the carry. Sibelko to inbound, gets it into Hoyt in the backcourt. She gets it across the timeline. Over to Kurth in the right corner. Back out high on the right side to Dippenbrock. Back to Sibelko. She's high, wide, and right. Being guarded by Anderson. Down to Hoyt, who's guarded by Olsen. Now by Hydorn. She takes it into the lane, puts a shot up and good, and we're tied at 43. A minute 17 to go. Hydorn with it, and we get a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, this is where Colfax has to make sure they're all on the same page, alert of what's going on. She got kind of trapped over here by herself with no help.
Hydorn with it in the backcourt. Loosely guarded by Sibelko. Across the timeline, over on the right side. Hands it off to Shipman. She's in the center circle.
Now Durand can't fall.
Gets it over to Hydorn, or Hajdukovic, I should say.
Let's see if they play for one or go for overtime.
45 seconds to go. Olsen with it, gets it out, and the ball gets taken away by Durand. 35 seconds or thereabouts.
Now Durand gets to play for one.
They get it out to Addison Oth. Over to the left side to Sibelko, and a timeout being called by the Durand Panthers. 26.1 seconds to go, and we're going to keep it right here. Dan, put yourself in the coach's seat. What do you do here?
If you're Colfax, you can't foul. No, they're going to try to, I would assume they're going to try to do some stuff on the outside and then get a cut down the middle and try to draw a foul maybe on Ainsley. And if Colfax gets the ball, then you almost got to do the same thing. You're not going to have as much time. You might be able to get one shot off if you get the ball. But there isn't going to be much room down there for Colfax to get something on the interior, so I would guess we'd probably see maybe a 3 from Ainsley Olsen or McKenna Shipman. Who else do we have out there that can shoot? 10. Molly Heidorn, she can shoot threes. So
far down the night, Shipman has 17, Olsen has a dozen, Dippenbrock has 16, and Sibelko has 11.
The main thing
and Hoyt has 8.
And the main thing is Colfax can't fall right here.
Well, this game is turning out to be exactly like we thought it would. Durand is getting the ball right in front of their own bench. Hoyt inbounds it. Chloe off. 22 seconds remaining. She feeds it over to Dippenbrock. Back out high to Sibelko. Over to Hoyt. To Chloe off. And another timeout being called by Durand. He wanted to see the way the Vikings were going to defense it, and we're going to take this timeout as you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2 are proud to announce that this spring they will be your viewing home for Eau Claire Cowboys football. Check out www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for times and dates. That's Eau Claire Cowboy football on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it will be time for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. Follow the Cavaliers all season long right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current broadcast schedule.
Fully off with it for Durand. 7 seconds remaining. Gets it out high to Dippenbrock. She drives down towards the lane off. Tries to feed it into Dippenbrock. And there's the buzzer. Dan, we get some bonus basketball tonight. We're going to overtime, folks.
Yeah, good defense there by Colfax. Durand wanted to go to the paint. And a good job by Jada Anderson to block her guy off and get the turnover.
So, we have an overtime coming up. We haven't had one of these yet this year.
Yeah. Looks like we get 4 extra minutes.
And the teams are figuring out what they're going to do during that 4 minutes of playing time.
Yeah, if I was Colfax, I would still try to go inside. You got Ainsley Olsen down there. She's got some height. She
you
can
know
get some
who's
shots
due
on.
some points down there is Jeanette Hajdukovic. She hasn't scored yet tonight. She's due.
Yeah. If she can cover that baseline, maybe find McKenna Shipman cutting through. Durand's got to keep just working the ball. And
part of it, they got to remember, this is 4 minutes. It's a regular 4 minutes of basketball. Don't get overexcited. Otherwise, you overlay the ball and so on.
And
play hard, play tough, but...
and Colfax has to make... Looks like they are... Durand's in the bonus. Colfax is not in the bonus. So if Colfax would foul...
They really are.
Right, yeah, if there's one more foul, sure.
So, this is the only other time you see a jump ball in high school basketball is at the beginning of overtime. So Olsen to jump it up against Addison Off. Official goes in. Ball goes up, controlled by Durand. Chloe Oth with the ball. She's high, wide, and left. Takes it between the circles, down towards the lane. Gets it out to Sibelko, and her shot's no good. She tried the three-pointer, and the Vikings come away with it. Hajdukovic with the rebound and got it to Heidorn. Heidorn's across the timeline over to Anderson on the right side. To Shipman, and the Vikings get called for an over and back. And now the officials are going to talk about this.
I don't really know what they're talking about.
They might be thinking that Durand touched it. Nope. So the inbound pass to Chloe Oth. Vikings have to do a better job of taking care of the ball. Point with it. Gets it out to Sibelko. Sibelko drives into the lane, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hoyt. Hoyt looking to get rid of it. Finally feeds it out to the outside. Three-pointers no good by Addison Oth. And down the floor come the Vikings.
Yeah, Colfax doesn't have to hustle. Just do their regular plays.
Still tied at 43. Heidorn with a short jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by Sibelko. Long pass, Addison Oth couldn't haul it in, out of bounds, Viking ball. So Anderson inbound the ball for the Vikings. Now she gets the ball. Feeds it into Shipman. Shipman quickly down the floor. Pulls up in the lane, no good. Rebound by Hajdukovic, and she got fouled trying to go back up. So Jeanette Hajdukovic to go to the line for two. Falls on Chloe Oth. That's her seventh team foul. First shot by Hajdukovic off the back of the iron, no good.
Yeah, you know, one thing both teams got to do is not get in this hurry-up offense. They still got a little under 3 minutes to go. They kind of feel like, you know, this is the last second shot. But
and the second shot's no good, but Olsen grabs the rebound. She got it out to Heidorn, to Shipman between the circles, over to the right side. Now cuts into the lane. Looking for somewhere to go, gets it to Hajdukovic down underneath, can't hang on to the ball.
Oh, and that's
and now we're going to get a foul called on Hajdukovic, and that's going to be it for her. So she ends up scoreless for the night. Pretty effective on the boards. This was a case of the Vikings just being a bit in too much of a hurry to try and get the shot off and not...
Yeah, there's no reason for both teams to hurry.
Kurth at the free throw line. Free throws up and no good. Rebound hauled down by Olsen. Olsen and Nigaman almost fighting over it. They each thought they were going to get a jump ball called, but they were on the same team. Anderson to Olsen. Olsen takes it down to the baseline, lays it up. No, it won't go in. Olsen tries to get the rebound. It won't go. And here comes Durand back down the floor. Sibelko feeds it over to Chloe Oth. Three-pointer by Dickenbrock. She missed it. Rebound taken down by Anderson. 2 minutes remaining. And we have a timeout on the floor. So with exactly 2 minutes left, we're still tied at 43. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV and Viking TV.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making...
And they're getting ready to inbound the ball. Vikings will have it. Waiting for the second buzzer. Finally, they got it. Anderson with it. Feeds it into Hydorn. Still tied at 43. A minute 55 remaining in overtime. Feeds it to Olsen at the right elbow. Hands it off to Hydorn. And they're going to call Hydorn with a travel. But you know what, Dan? I thought she got rid of the ball before she ended up on the floor.
There must have been a little slide with the foot or something that the ref saw down there.
So Durand with the ball. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul, and it's going to be against Durand.
Let's see who's that on, Madison?
Foul is on Sawyer Sibelko. It's her fourth. Ball comes into Olsen. Over to Hydorn. Hydorn over to Shipman. Shipman in the lane, back out to Olsen. She puts up a three. No! Rebound taken down by Durand. Dippenbrock with the rebound. And down the floor come the Panthers with a minute and a half remaining in the overtime. To Hoyt. Out to Kurth. She's between the circles. Over to Auth on the left side. High, wide, and left. Over to Sibelko on the right side. Down into the right corner to Dippenbrock. Dippenbrock takes it towards the lane. Feeds it out to Kurth. High, wide, and right. Over to Sibelko. Now over to the right side, down into the right corner. And back out high to Hoyt.
Now they're going to run out of clock.
Hoyt over to the left side to Sibelko. To Kurth on the right side. To Chloe out to Hoyt. 45 seconds. Three-pointer. She hit the three. Sibelko with a three-pointer, giving Durand a three-point lead. Vikings with it. Down the floor comes Hydorn. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It's going to be Durand ball. 26 seconds remaining. Nigerman tried the three. It was off the iron. Now Durand's going, or Vikings are going to have to think about fouling here. Dippenbrock with it. Feeds it a little bit far to Chloe Auth. Over to Hoyt. And Durand running the clock, and Hydorn gets out and fouls Chloe Auth.
Should be her fourth.
Chloe Auth is 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line. These are big free throws right here. 14.7 seconds remaining. First shot is up, no good. Durand up by 3. Second shot on the way. That one's good, making it a 2-possession game. And a timeout on the floor. So Dan, what are your options now?
Yeah, you're gonna make a long pass and send somebody deep. Who's our quarterback for the Vikings? We need a long pass, maybe down to Jeanette or McKenna, your big runner. Get a shot, maybe get the shot plus the foul, get to the line. Otherwise, you're going to have to get the shot, foul right away, and hopefully they make it down to miss at the other end.
And you can bet that coaching staff for the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers are saying, whatever you do, do not foul them from 3-point line. Outside of 3 points.
I would guess he's going to drop a bunch of girls back.
Olsen is down deep. She's the designated receiver. She's the Donald Driver of the bunch.
Yeah, if Colfax has to get a 2-pointer first.
Jada Anderson is the Aaron Rodgers of the team. Long pass, intercepted by Durand. And Chloe Oth has it. She gets fouled with just under 10 seconds remaining. She'll go back to the line with the double bonus, so she'll be shooting 2. Foul was on Olsen. Her shot is up. It's good. 48-43, 5-point lead for Durand. Second shot is up. No good. Olsen gets it to Hydorn. 7 seconds. Back out to Shipman, to Olsen. Launches the 3. It doesn't go. And there's the buzzer. Final score in this one, the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 48, Vikings 43. Vikings drop to 6-2 in the Dun St. Croix Conference, and the Durand Panthers move up to 6-2, and the two teams have split their games so far this season. We'll have more on all that right after this timeout when we come back with Viking Postgame. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Time now for Viking Postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Well, the complexion of the Dun St. Croix Conference has taken a bit of a twist as of tonight, as the Vikings drop a tough one tonight to the Durand-Arkansaw Panthers by a score of 48-43. Vikings led most of the way, sometimes with pretty substantial leads, but Durand-Arkansaw just would not give up and kept scrapping their way back in, forced it into overtime, and basically outscored the Vikings 5-0 in the overtime.
Yeah. You know, good job by coach for Durand. He put it in the senior's hand at the end of the game. She hits the 3, takes the lead, and they get the win. You know, Colfax fought hard, and they just came up a little short tonight. We'll see this matchup later, I bet.
Yeah, and one of the things to mention, I guess, is that the Vikings didn't necessarily play poorly. There were some times when they were in just a little bit too much of a hurry, but overall, these were two teams battling it out on the floor, and they weren't going to leave anything behind, and the Vikings just didn't quite have as many points to go in.
Yeah, both first half adjustments by both coaches were good. You know, the Colfax did a good job in the first half shutting down the three-pointers by Durand, and Durand changed at half, got their threes in the second half. Colfax found their way there into the middle in the second half, which they had trouble in the first half. So
I'll tell you what, while we're waiting on Coach Serrar to come up here, why don't we have you give us the scoring totals on tonight's game, and then hopefully Coach Serrar will be up here and we'll have a chance to talk with her. So how did the scoring get happening, Dan?
Yeah, here's the scores for Durand Panthers tonight. Their leading scorer was number 23, Brittany Dippenbrock. She had 16, followed by Sawyer Sabalco with 14. We had Emma Hoyt with 8, Chloe Oth with 8, and Addison Oth and Victoria Kurth with 3. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led by number 42, McKenna Shipman. She had 17 points, followed by Anzie Olsen with 12. We had Jada Anderson with 7. We had Autumn Nigelman with 3. We had Molly Hydorn and Kason Goodell with 2 each. That makes 48-43.
And works better if I turn the microphone on. So the Durand Panthers come out on top of the Vikings by a score of 48-43. We're going to take this time out, and then we will hopefully have Coach Serrar up here to talk with us about it. And you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School Girls Basketball. Our next game will be on Friday, January 27th, when the Vikings will travel to Boyceville to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Girls Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, January 27th.
Join us on NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came here for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, January 26th, when the Vikings play host to the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking Pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Thursday, January 26th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, and joining us right now is Coach Serrar. And Coach, that's a tough one to take.
Yeah, I thought the girls played really well. I think, the one thing that I've been challenging them to do is come ready to play, and I think they definitely did that. I think second half, they started making some shots, and it seemed like, when we needed something good to happen, something bad would happen, and it was just kind of a domino effect. They shot the ball really well, and, when we needed to make big shots, we just couldn't get the ball to go in. It seemed like we missed a lot of, close, easy layups, and those hurt.
And there were a couple of times that I noticed that where the girls almost seemed like they were in too much of a hurry to make something happen, and the person passing them the ball would pass where they thought, and they would have already made their cut, and the ball pass was behind them. And the over and back call that was right down here in front of us, that was an example of that. And I just think that they just got in a little bit too much of a hurry to try and right the ship, so to speak, as they gave up that lead in the second half.
Yeah. I think, once, they cut it to, they made a couple shots right away and then cut the lead. I think we were kind of reeling a little bit to try to, get things going back in the way that, they wanted it to go, and, it just didn't work out. We had a couple of careless turnovers, I thought, where we just, like you said, people weren't on the same page or whatnot. But
and to be perfectly honest with you, this was two really good teams battling it out on the floor and laying it all out there, and somebody's going to come up on the short end. You took them to overtime. It was a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, for sure. And we knew, they're a good team and well coached, and they play really hard. They get up after you, they pressure the crap out of the ball, and they make things really difficult. And I thought they did a good job of that tonight, and I thought we did a good job, handling the pressure. It just seemed like, I don't know, it was like the easy, like when the kids were open, those were the ones that we didn't, connect on. So
you had to kind of feel bad for Jeanette under the basket. She had some wide open shots that the more wide open it was, the more she overlaid it.
Yeah. I thought, there's a couple people who missed, some close, point blank looks at the hoop that, that I think we would normally make. Jeanette stuck out to me, and I know Ainsley had a super nice take towards the end of I don't know if it was overtime or regulation, where she had an open layup and it just didn't go in. And sometimes that's the way the game goes. So
that's basketball. It's the reason that I have gray hair. You're a ways away from that yet, but I've got the gray hair. But anyway, coming up Friday, Boyceville Bulldogs, you don't get a break out of the conference.
Yeah, no, we just have to go and, go into Boyceville and try to get back on the winning streak, and then, just keep going from there.
And that's all you really can do. You got Elk Mound just kind of on cruise control right now, and so as you said in Viking pregame, you're going to need a little help now, but it's not out of reach.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I told the girls, as long as they play hard and have good energy and effort, I'll be happy with whatever the outcome was. And, I was definitely more impressed with, how we came ready to play. And even when things got tough, you could tell that it wasn't the crumble under, pressure type team. It was the gritty team. And I know we're going to have to be that down the stretch through the rest of the conference play and into the playoffs. So,
well, Coach, thank you for joining us today. And, Viking chins up and go get them in Boyceville.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll have more Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Back here at Colfax High School with Viking postgame, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Dan, any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, good fought battle by both teams. Good job by both coaches to make adjustments, and the best team came out ahead.
At least the best team tonight.
Right.
And that's the other thing about basketball. The result is how those two teams did on that night. We play the same game tomorrow night. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, it was almost flip-flopping.
It was that kind of a game. And so, Vikings just have to lick their wounds real quickly and get ready for Boyceville on Friday. So don't forget to join us here on NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Friday, January 27th, as the Viking girls will travel over to Boyceville to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. That is a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Live coverage begins with Viking pregame beginning at 6:50 p.m., and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Girls Basketball on Friday, January 27th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Thursday night, as the Viking boys are going to host the Mondovi Buffaloes. That is also a Dunn St. Croix Conference battle. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame also at 6:50 p.m. and followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax boys basketball Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV. Also, the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV are excited to once again be your home for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. Follow the Cavaliers throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Eau Claire also has a new semi-pro football team. The Eau Claire Cowboys, they were in existence before COVID hit, but then they shut down. Well, they're back. And NLWN-2, along with the Northern Light Webcasting Network, are excited to be your broadcast home. Follow the Eau Claire Cowboys throughout the 2023 season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2. Tonight's exciting Colfax High School basketball game was brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who've been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV. So for Dan Petchow and Jeff Gus, this is Rick Olson. That final score once again, Durand-Arkansaw Panthers 48, Vikings 43 in overtime. And you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, and Viking TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.